vape blunts.
Just dude, next time we have a meeting and I have to sneeze, I'm gonna I'm just gonna see if anybody notices.
I'm gonna be busted. I'm gonna laugh at so like, yeet.
It's still 2015. I don't give a fuck.
Dude, it's still like 2000s for me. Oh my god, before I forget, hold up. Since we're not like vaping.
What you got?
Listen to fucking this. I found it on TikTok. And like, it's metal, right? But this is moancore.
Like instead of like screams.
Oh yeah, hold on, here we go. So it's a female singer. Wait for the drop. Yeah.
That's actually pretty great.
Like, it's been popping up all of my TikTok. They're like moancore, and it gets to that part, like she's in a chair, a little bit bloody, and then she's I was like, I don't know, it gave me goosebumps. I was like, yes,
I need this. I love it.
I was like, you gotta hear this. Like, I know you're not doing a metal, but I was just like, that shit. Oh, I love it.
I love how like so many things get like intertwined into like book talk.
Oh,
do you know
God,
what I mean?
yes.
Like the moancore,
yeah,
bike talk, like all of these like masks, like all of them get like filtered into book talk, and I really like that. Like I've built my For You page brick by brick, and I have done so fucking well.
I love that I got you on Stray Kids too, because then you sent me the biker doing the dance to Chick Chick Foo, and I was like,
And I love that biker too.
Yeah,
he like never shows his face either, and I'm like, I don't know what it is, but like him in the helmet and his dance moves, I'm always like,
there's always something too. Like I've seen a few with like, yes, you do a face reveal, and some of them are cute, and then there's some where I'm like, keep
your mask on.
I don't need to see your face.
I just keep it on. Just keep it on.
Keep it on.
We don't need to see it.
Thank you.
You are handsome with the mask or the helmet or whatever.
Yes, but I think it's because like you have that that feeling already of them. Like that's what you envision.
Want them to look like.
So it's
a little shocking. Even like listening to audibles. If I go like look up nope, don't do it. Don't ever look up the voice actor. You're gonna like ruin the book for yourself. Stick with what the author wrote and just go with that.
Yeah, because I did that with Teddy Hamilton, and I was like, no, that's not how I envisioned you.
That's
like,
not what I thought you looked like.
Cool, but like that's
not what I envisioned. Yeah, like I don't even want to look up who voices Josh.
Jacob Morgan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what he looks like, because in my brain that is Josh.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, see, and you're not like super excited.
No.
Yeah, no.
Love his voice, love what he can do, but I think it's just because like you said, like you have that
image of what like the author's written for you as like the main character, and then what they're actually like. And you're kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna stick with what they wrote.
Exactly. That's what I'm like, okay.
We don't look them up no more.
Nope.
We don't.
I said I'm gonna need to stop doing
that. Yep. We're gonna need to stop. Well, yep. I'm Kara.
I'm Chris.
And we're the Midnight Babes. Babes?
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 Like that's why I had to put that in.
Now it's like, stuck in my head.
Like anything that you're doing, you're just like, I'm a rage, and then
you wanna fuck on me? That line will forever live rent free in my head, dude. Like, you wanna fuck on me? I don't care if I'm 90, I'm gonna be like still saying it. I don't give a shit.
I love those TikToks too, where it's like us in like the fucking retirement homes, and like let's listen to your music, and it's all like early 2000s shit.
Yep, that's gonna be us. And I'm gonna be like, you know, as long as we're on our way to death, I'm gonna be like, you wanna do a line in the bathroom? Let's go crash up our beds and go play some bingo, bitch. Somebody dies and we're like, get out the magnifying glass.
Who did it?
I'm walking around with like a notepad and we're like, it was not a natural death. I'm 90 and in my moo-moo and I don't give a fuck. Okay?
They're gonna be like, go back to your room.
Good thing our men are older than us, so we can maybe like live that fantasy out. I don't know if that's terrible to say. I was like, oh, right after I said it.
We have plans.
Okay, we got plans, guys.
I just think it's so funny too because they'd be like, okay, you know, that meme of like, okay, grandma.
Yeah, that's
gonna be. The kids are gonna be like, okay. And you're like, it's my jam, and I'm gonna be breaking my hip every fucking week just because I'm gonna be trying to mosh.
I was looking for like trends for us to do, and you know, the one where people are running, and it's like, suspect. I was like, how would I start this? I'd be like, suspect can't run, has bad knees, is going to sit down.
And it's just me fucking tripping.
Suspect has stopped running. She thinks there is a masked man behind her. Suspect, his legs open on the ground.
Yes.
I was like, how would we do that?
Yeah.
I was like, that's...
We'd have to like pre-write them out. Because I can't do that on the fly.
I can't think of them on the fly either, but the only one I could think of is like, suspect's hips and knees don't work.
Nope.
Is going down. You know,
and then I would be going down.
Has stopped running. She believes there's a masked man behind her, and you're just like, come get me.
Hello. Oh God.
Okay, so we did.
I'm dying. It's choking.
Our first like 5 minutes are always just like catch up, anyways.
Yeah.
So it's fine. But we did, I think it's Sabre Security.
Sabre Security. Yep, that's how I read it.
That's how I was reading it, too. If that's incorrect, Jay Rose, the author, let us know. It was a trilogy that came off Blackwood Institute. Like, I almost want to say you need to read Blackwood to understand.
Oh no, yes, because there's a certain part in Blackwood that completely leads in because Sabre Security is 5 years after the Blackwood incident.
Because in this crew, Sabre came in at the end of Blackwood.
Yes.
So like that's where it's like you kind of need to like read them. Like I guess you could not read Blackwood and still read the series, but I don't think it would be as fun. The storyline wouldn't make as much sense.
Because they're all getting over...
Yes, the trauma from saving the Blackwood crew.
Yeah, and then losing that person. Like, because if you haven't read Blackwood, I don't want to full-on spoil it. Because the whole part of Sabre is helping this girl, Harlow, who has been... pretty much kidnapped.
Yeah, like for her since
entire
she's
life.
like, what, 7 or 8? She's pretty young. And she's like 19 or some shit. Or no, she's 18.
Yeah. No, she's older. No, 18, then she turns 19.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean.
Because at first I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
She's a little young.
Yeah, no, but then she is legal.
Yeah, she
But there's
legal.
obviously that age gap. But with her coming in, like, the men all kind of... They're going through their trauma, and they're like, the family is about to kind of like disintegrate.
Like, before they even get Harlow, like they are dealing with some serious trauma. Yeah.
Yeah, and then with all the shit that Sabre, their company has been going through.
That they're involved in.
God. And then, of course, they get her, and this is like a really fucking tough case. And it lasts all 3 books.
And I will say, like, I think Jay Rose does a phenomenal job of, like, not just, like, making it, like, smut. Yeah. She puts the fucking storyline in there to where you're, like, you need to know. Yeah. Like, the first book, Corpse Roads, I read that shit so fucking fast. Yeah. Because I was, like... Why is Harlow, this girl in a cage? Why is there some crazy priest doing...
Pastor Michael.
Yeah, doing crazy ass rituals, like beating these women, like, in front of Harlow. And, like, In the first book, we get like a really like good understanding that like he doesn't really want to kill Harlow.
Yeah.
But he really wants her mentally fucked up.
Oh
and,
my god! And like they still abuse her. They don't let her.
They beat
eat,
the shit
drink.
out of her. Yeah.
And there was Mrs. Michaels.
Yes.
You know who
the pastor or the priest's wife.
Yeah.
Whatever. And
It's just
wife.
It's a real.
It's
shit
heavy.
show, and it's heavy.
Just like Blackwood. I mean, like it's heavy in a different way.
I would say because like I do feel like Blackwood is a lot heavier.
Me too.
In that way, but like Sabre is one of those crime cases that's heavy.
That's
not
heavy.
so much like you're in a psych ward, you know all this, but like
and Harlow's like personal trauma. Like
oh
she's
my
got
god, religious
tricked
shit.
I can't the hair pulling. What's it called?
Trichophobia?
Maybe.
No.
I want to say it's trick something. I'm about to look it up.
I'm about to Google.
But she's got that hair pulling issue. Like she seriously has some issues, right? So
trichotillomania.
Okay.
Is that how you say it? Trichotillomania?
Trichotillomania? Yeah, also called TTM. All right,
TTM.
we'll call it TTM. She got TTM.
Big time.
She'd be stressed out. She'd pulling out her hair all the time.
God.
But
throughout all of the books until
all
like
the
very end where it's like she's kind of getting over it. But like bald patch. And like the boys can see and it's like, oh shit's getting worse. Things like that.
She's
but like
stressed.
they're helping her. They're having to protect her.
They're helping her grow.
Oh my god.
It's
like,
so cute.
There's more to this world than just the cage that you were in and the trauma that you went through, and we are going to keep you safe. But then the world starts turning against her because like it's like Pastor Michaels turns into a fucking cult.
Yeah, it's a domino effect. So like she escapes. Harlow escapes in the first book.
Badass.
Like a boss. Like using the arm.
No, the leg.
The leg, yeah. So
her leg bone.
Yeah, she uses another dead girl's like leg bone to like get out of her cage, and then she realizes that she's in like a church in the middle of nowhere, and like goes out like the stained glass window and takes like a tumble. This poor girl is holding on for this like femur for like her dear life. Like she does not. She will not let the leg go. And like I remember texting you, and I was like, the leg, dude. Let it go. Let the leg go.
Cause she was out there running from that place for like 2 weeks until like that's when they found her, and of course she's like severely injured, fucked
up,
sepsis happening,
like absolutely malnutritioned, like emaciated. She is like pretty much toast, and so that's where Sabre comes in. Is they're like, where did you come from? First of all, let's protect you. And then they start to like put pieces together that like she was held by a serial killer.
Yeah, because it's matching up to the other missing women that they found.
Which there's like 18, and then like more bodies keep showing up throughout the books. And
you're like, God.
What has this Pastor Michaels done?
Yes.
You find out kill people.
You find out like all of his backstory, all of this shit, and you're like, oh, so like at the end when
it's so good.
Oh, it's so good.
But I will say, like, the first book, there's, like, no smut. Because she
says it in, like, her... I want to say credits, but that's not right.
Like, the intro, like...
Like, it gets spicier over because she really wanted the story.
And she did a really good... And, like, I was okay with it. I still blasted through the first book because I was like, who's Pastor Michaels? Who are all of these new dudes that, like, I've never met before?
Yes, and I just love, too, that you get to see her progress with some of the girls that are in the other cage and, like, what the fuck happens. And so you can really tell, like, why she's so fucked up. Because she's like, these are my friends, and they end up being dead, you know. And then one of them she had to kill, like, as a mercy kill. Like, she didn't want to fucking do it, but, like, that's what really stuck with her throughout all of
the books. It was like she thought, because like Pastor Michaels is like, the devil is in you. Yeah. The devil is in you. And so she thinks because she did this mercy kill, which it like truly was. It like from what I was reading, I would hope so.
I'd be like,
bitch.
Fucking kill me.
I would just look at you and be like,
come on,
take me out.
Take me out.
So, but in her mind, she is like, she's evil for doing that. And
she's the sinner.
Yeah, and so she deserves all of this, like, bad shit. Because it just, like, domino effects. I mean, like, they're the boys. So it's Hunter, Theo, Leighton, and Enzo. And they're all very different.
Yeah.
And some are related, but they call each other family. You know, they all run the security.
Hunter is, like... not like the CEO, you know, like, but he's like the boss.
He's like the head
the head
man.
honcho, yeah. And then Leighton is his brother who
Yep.
just got out of prison.
Yep, he's
but
a
like
little...
you find out why, and
I love him. He might have been my favorite character throughout the books.
And it's so great because each of these dudes, like Harlow meets Enzo first.
Yep.
And Enzo is instantly like, oh no.
Yeah.
Because he is such a softie, but he is like the biggest guy. He is the enforcer. He is all this. Hunter is the mastermind.
Yeah,
you know, he's the one doing that.
The brains.
Theo is the tech
guy.
Like, he stays in his little hole.
He's always behind his computer.
Leighton is just the younger brother, the funny one, the
fuck up.
The fuck up, yes. And then that was it.
Yeah, Hunter.
But they each have their own specific personality, but they all come together and it's so great. And then reading Blackwood, you meet Enzo, Hunter, and Theo. We do
at the end of Blackwood.
Yes.
Because, and
Theo was more like open because he's very much an introvert.
Yes.
But like he was more open in those books. And then you see how Enzo is with the Blackwood crew.
Yes.
And like
it's so
training them.
Fun, dude. Like it is so fun. And like I guess if you've read Blackwood, like the Sabre Security team saves them. Like we can say that like this is the same team, right? Yep. And so like it is really fun the way she just J. Rose like would like weave some of the Blackwood characters in there. Well, actually, all of them.
Well, no, because it's 5 years later. You know, they come and the Blackwood team is the Cobra team, so we get so much more of the Blackwood crew.
And I love that, especially now that they're not like stuck in this like terrible place.
Oh my
God,
no!
They're free. They're able to like do what they want, and they just want to help out.
They are living their
friends.
Life. You get the wedding because that is said in Blackwood. You get the wedding. I'm not gonna say any much about that, but you get the wedding. So it was so great.
Oh my god.
God.
Brooklyn, I will say in like the third book because it's Corpse Road, Skeletal Hearts, and Hollow Veins. Hollow Veins, dude. When Brooklyn comes in the end.
Fucking
dude, I told you, I was like, I was crying. Yes. Dude, I was just like, oh my God, Brooklyn. Like, I was just so stoked she came back and like, in the way that she did, because they were like, you stay home.
Yeah.
We don't want you out here. Like, this is the fight of all fights. Like, we've battled it out for 3 books, and like, they cannot stop this man. And like, this is the end all of the fights. And the way Brooklyn comes in.
She's like, fuck you.
I was like, whoa!
She really helps Harlow throughout these books. Like,
so cute.
Oh, because she's like, girl, I've been there.
Yeah.
Like, I may have not been in your shoes, but we are all fucked up. Like, we have done some shit. Like, you don't know everything that I've done. But like, she helps Harlow grow. And then, of course, Harlow gets to see fucking Hudson and Kay and Jude.
All of them.
And, like,
I know.
Jude really helps her. And then, of course, Hudson is Hudson.
Huge help for her to, like, come out of that, like,
to be her own
mental
person.
state of, like, I'm still trapped in a cage. Like, they really helped her. And, like, when the books do start to get spicy, I think it's adorable that, like, Brooklyn and Harlow are, like, talking about it.
Because of Harlow having to gain the weight, she has to be on all this shit. Like, she doesn't, and she knew about, like, a period.
But she hadn't had one because she was so ill.
So ill. Being in that cage, like, it never happened. But, like, she knew about it because of the other women's stories.
Yes.
So when it finally happened, she's like,
poor girl.
She's like,
I'm dying.
Blah, blah, blah. And then, who is it? She called, was it Leighton came in?
I think it was Leighton, yeah.
He was like, okay. They called Theo. He's like, get to the store and buy everything there.
One of everything.
And then he, like, literally brings, like, fucking bags. And she's like, I don't know. And so she calls Brooke, like, she's like, girl, I got you.
I'll be there in a minute.
She's, like, walking through all that. And then she talks to Brooke about, like, some feelings and like what if I want to and like be with the boy, like, and how do you make it work?
Yeah, like, how do I pick? Like, because there is this like jealousy between the men.
Hunter specifically, well, like, and of course Enzo, but
yes, they have a serious jealousy thing. And
because like we can't do that again.
Yeah, like they had a girl that they had all like shared and loved, and it seems she died at some point. So
she died in Blackwood.
Oh, that's right.
That was her.
That was her. Okay.
She died in Blackwood, so you learn more about that.
Yeah, and so, like, they all, like, very much have, like, their walls up as far as, like, we're not going to share a woman again. Yeah. Or, like, we're not going to let somebody else into our family to ruin us. And Harlow, like, senses that. Yeah. She is very, like, for how, I don't want to use the word, like, uneducated, but, like,
how innocent.
Yeah, like how innocent she is. Like, it's really cool that she was able to, like, pick up on those things. Yes. And I think that's why she found so much comfort with Leighton, because he was like, let's just watch movies. Let's just watch Friends and, like,
he's like, I'm going to show you all of this.
Yeah, I'm going to show you all the good movies, and we're going to eat all the good food. And, like, half the books, they're, like, ordering 70 pizzas. And it's like...
he's a fucking garbage
dude, he is. Like, he just eats so much food.
Like, he really brings out, like, those feelings in her and being like, I'm safe. You can talk to me. Like, I have shit.
Here on the couch, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
and I love that, like, Leighton is her person, because Hunter just wants to make her happy, and then she's like, I need to get the fuck out of this house, and Leighton's like, let's go shopping. Yeah, I got Hunter's black card.
Yeah, he's like, I'm
goes to like a fancy ass hotel, orders everything on the fucking menu,
get the room service.
And so, like, and then she's like, you know what? This, like,
I like this.
We're doing this. And then they take a bath. He's like, I'm eating pizza in the bath. And she's like, what?
And he was like, pizza in the bath is the best thing ever, and I've never related to something in a book
my foot's
so
cramping.
Much.
Oh, jeez. Like, all I did was move.
We old. We get cramps. You need a banana.
Oh, no, I'm okay. That was just like, no, I don't have that. Bitch.
Do you want a banana? Because I don't have it.
I got nothing.
I don't like them.
It was just how I fucking, like, you know how you move a certain way and it just cramp?
I can, like, make my, like, I can give myself a Charlie horse with my toe or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it'll, like, creep down into my foot, and then I'll be like,
no,
why did I
do that? But I love that, like, they're in the tub, and, you know, of course they're naked, but he's already seen her. Well, and she's seen him because she gave him a blowy on the couch, and of course she didn't know what to do, but he was like, I don't fucking care. Like, I'll walk you through this. Yep. Like, if you're safe with me, if you want to, like, no pressure.
If this is what you want to do, we're gonna let you do it. And that's kind of like the mindset that they have as long as she's safe.
Because, like, she's all of her first in a way were with Leighton, but then also with Hunter.
Yep.
At a certain point. And then of course it kind of progresses. But I just love
and there's some sharing scenes. That was
with Hunter and Enzo.
That was great.
And I love the relationship that she starts having with Theo, because they share books. She loves to read.
Yeah, okay, so that was cool, like, the, like, sharing of books, and, like, how they would, like, discuss books, because, like, Theo's pretty closed off.
Oh, he was hit the hardest.
But you learn so much about, like, Theo's up there for me. Like, Leighton is my favorite out of these three, but, like, Theo, he was up there in Blackwood for me, and I think it's because he was, like, a mystery, right? Yes. And I was like, well, I want to know more. I still want to know more about Theo.
Yeah, but we do learn a little bit more, like, and that's what, because, like, you cried. I didn't cry, but I was very close to certain points of, like, she learned she has a brother, you know, like a half brother, and, like, learn about that shit, and then everything that happened in the third book, I was like, oh, God.
Yeah, the way that she ties it is
fuck. And then
fucking crazy.
And then learning more about Theo towards the end, I was like, for Christmas. It was so...
and we don't want to, like, ruin the end, right? Because even though we do spoilers, but...
Yeah, and I will say, like, keep in mind, because it has 5 years from Blackwood, what happens in Blackwood does affect Hunter, because he is deaf in one ear. He has to use
a hearing
aid, and, like, that does come into play. So I love that she kind of, like, adds that trauma into it, because, like, it plays, like, with all the shit and
it affects him so much,
and it just gets worse.
Yeah, and it affects everybody in the book. Yes. So everything she does for a reason.
Yes.
She's
like getting up there in my favorites for sure.
She is too, and, like, I didn't even realize, like, Blackwood Institute was, like, a universe. Like, I had no idea. And I was like, well, what else does J. Rose have? And then I was like, wait a minute. I was on our website, and I was like, hold up. I was like, wait a minute, she has 3 different series within this universe. So
Blackwood, Sabre,
and then Briar Valley, and that's a duet, so 2 books. Mm-hmm. But I have a feeling it's going to be about like
the Anaconda
team,
because the Cobra team is Blackwood crew, and Anaconda team is a different crew, and I feel like...
And she touches on like characters.
They touch on characters for the Anaconda crew, but like there's only one mention of, oh no, they're up helping in Briar Valley right now. So that's
they actually call out Briar Valley and like that they cannot come assist because they're busy there. And I'm like, well, what's going on there?
And so like, but I'm excited though because I think it was in the 2nd or was it the 3rd book where someone dies that was on the Anaconda team. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, okay, how is that going to play out with Briar Valley?
I know, I was wondering the same thing, so...
Because that's how it was in Blackwood, she dies, and then that's just what Sabre Security is, like, kind of...
taking off from. Yeah. So I actually had the same thought when I was, like, reading those scenes, and then I was like, oh, and I was texting, I was like, she's tying Briar Valley into it already, even though we've not read it, she's making it pretty clear, like, Here's a little tidbit. Here's a little sprinkle. I'm like, oh, she's like hinting at it. And so I was like, I really want to like dive into it. But I was like...
We are reading other like books right now. And we're kind of going back and forth. I'm catching up on books I need to read.
Same.
Yeah. And then like, but we're going to get back to like...
Sinking.
Because, oh God, we still have to start TOG.
Yeah, I do. If Sarah J. Maas could just come out with the
another
next ACOTAR, I would be fine with that, okay? That's all I care about.
I think we're going to hit on TOG next year. Like, maybe starting over, like, Christmas break or some shit. Yeah. Depending, because, like, I'm going to need something. But, honestly, like, there's other books coming out, too.
Yeah, there's others, and we're always reading something, but...
True. But with her, though, she has...
J. Rose. She has quite a bit. And a lot of them are, like, series, so...
Yeah. What's Harrowdean Manor? It's only 1 book?
Where do you see that at?
Boop, boop.
Oh, yeah. New adult suspense.
Ooh. She does great with suspense. Her fucking world building is story, great. Like I said, she's becoming, like, she's getting up there in, like, my favorite authors to read.
She does so much, like...
It's a
emotional, it's the storyline, like the sex, like the relationships, like tying in the universes.
And it's not just the women who have the trauma. The men have trauma too, and she touches on that, and she builds off of that. Like, I get it. There's some books, especially with like dark romance, where it's mostly the women going through it. But I really enjoy that it's everybody. Mm-hmm. Everybody is going through this.
And they're going through something. And, like, I feel like that's really fucking relatable.
Yes.
Like, to an extent, right? Like, we may not be all suffering with, like, pulling out our hair and, like, cutting and these different things, but, like, we all have our shit.
Yeah.
So she does a really good job that, like, they all have their shit, but at, like, a higher level.
Yes.
And it's shit.
But it brings in if you like true crime, if you like those podcasts, if you like, and, like, the crime documentaries, you are going to like these because it's so fucked up.
Yes.
But she dives deeper. Like, what I want to know more of with what's going through their heads.
She gets there.
Oh.
She tells you, like, you don't really have to wait. Or, like, if you do, you're, like, a chapter later. And you're like, oh, there it is. Okay, like, oh, we just needed to switch characters. Because she does a lot of, like, different POVs, too.
But she makes it, like, it's not confusing at all.
It's not. And, like, it's very clear. Because normally it's, like, the chapter is, like, that person's name. So, like, it's really clear of, like, whose head you're in at that time. Yeah. And who's, like, POV or speaking from.
Doesn't she add the playlist?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I fucking love that because I'll go through and, like, want to listen and be like, how is this?
Especially if they're like, Enzo's blaring XYZ from his room. I'll be like, what's he listening to?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, oh, that kind of mood.
Whenever, like, Chantel does that and, like, saying, like, oh, with Hallelujah, with Hayden, I'm like, he's listening to this while he's just fucking going at it.
Like, all right.
I love it.
But it gives us more of, like, insight of how, like, fucked up they are.
Yeah, like, how their mindset is during that time.
Yes.
So I love when people add their playlist to the book because it just...
Yes, keep doing it.
Please.
Keep doing it. They have it in the book I'm reading, this trilogy I'm reading right now, too. Yeah, they have the playlist in each book. Okay, so if you were to say, like, Blackwood versus Sabre, which do you think you liked more and why?
probably Blackwood. Just because I am more...
You dark.
Yeah. But also it's because they're in a psych ward. Like, I feel like they're
different.
Two totally different. I do feel like you're more Sabre because you are more of a true crime
I am, and I really loved like the chase down of the pastor throughout the books.
I like seeing it, reading about like what goes on in a fucking psych ward, like what their mindset is, like how they're getting through all of this. Like,
yep.
It's more psychology. It's more like in their brain.
Yep.
Where you like more of the chase and to figure out what's going on. Like I want to just know.
I'm over here like, I'm trying to put the pieces together myself. I'm like, I got a little map.
I can do that. It's cool. But I'm just like, I want to know how your fucking brain ticks. I used to want to do criminal psychology.
Yeah, I was like, I want to know how your brain works, especially when it don't work the right way. I really want to know.
Yeah,
like,
I just didn't want to go through the school.
Feel you.
Like, if I could just learn.
Hey, I start my crim class on December 2nd, so I'll just send you like fun stuff. I'll be like, hey bitch, guess what?
Guess what?
Hey bitch, guess what?
Look what I'm reading right now.
Look at this. You might be interested in that.
Look at this fucking case.
But I mean, I loved Blackwood because I loved the setting of like the psych ward.
Exactly.
I really she did so well in the setting, and with as many characters, like with like the staff and the nurses, I thought she did a great job.
Well, like, and the fact that it's a play, like to me, or how no, I think she kind of touched on it in the books. It's a play on the prison experiment.
Yeah,
and like that,
mind blown.
I was just like, that's exactly fucking it.
Yep, it's because
I went down a hole at that too when they did that experiment.
It's a good experiment.
Yeah,
Stanford prison experiment.
Yes.
So, like, again, I love Blackwood. I liked Sabre a little bit more because I liked how fucked up Harlow's mom was. Because, like, we learn about her birth mom.
Yep.
I like how fucked up her dad was, in a way.
In a way, but, like, he comes back around. He comes around,
and I like how fucked up the pastor was, man.
Oh my god, yeah.
It was so brutal.
That it turns into a fucking cult, and like the fact
it was crazy
how it went throughout the country.
Stuff.
Yes,
I love culty stuff. So
and,
I
like,
was
they're
like,
back and forth with that shit. With like people are going, this is wrong, and they're over here like praise the Lord.
It essentially like
everyone.
By the second book, it's like blown up. Like Harlow is news. Like she's all over the news of like this girl's escaped a serial killer.
Yeah, and they were trying to keep her like. Yes, you can know details, but like you can't see her. She's not doing interviews.
We're not talking
because
about
she gets
it.
too like.
Yeah. But it's interesting the way that they like bring in like, okay, well, this is what happened to like how she got there, right?
Yes.
And then this is what happened when she escaped. And this is like it all like branches off like. The pastor goes crazy because he's lost her.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you don't come back, I'm going to continue to slaughter more. Like,
and then starts roping everybody fucking
so that's where like this cult mindset comes from because everybody's like, stop the killing, just show yourself, Harlow. But then like there's a bunch of other psychos that are like, no, let's kill this bitch.
Yeah.
And you're like, huh?
And then you find out like who the real game master is throughout all of this too, and it's just like. It was like...
I was like, whoa!
Was not expecting that shit. But also, like, throughout the book, I'm like, why isn't Harlow just, like, kind of giving all this? But it's... No, because she's too mentally fucked up right now. And if she starts thinking about all of that, she goes into a fucking tizzy.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like, it's anxiety spiral almost. Like, it's...
But then that's where Jude comes in, like, write it down.
Yeah, Jude with the write it down because at the end I was like, oh my god.
Speaking of Jude, I love still seeing Jude and Hudson's little like and then like just making out.
Yeah,
I was like,
you're like what? We're
all right, because like they were like the hate fucking or whatever in Blackwood, but like it's becoming more.
They bicker and then they're like. Over it, like it's almost like a hate fuck relationship.
He's like, I love you, but also like fuck you, but also come over here and let me fuck you.
Exactly how the book I'm reading is. They absolutely hate each other. He's like, fuck you, you fucking slut, and then she's like, fuck you, asshole. And then they're like, and then they finish and they're like, fuck you. And
I love it.
It's a nice little hate fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Right in my face like you hate me. She's like, I do. I hate you.
I do. You're about
I'm going to suffocate you. Okay? They're good books. I'm digging them.
I'm definitely going to read them because I fucking love that.
And then we'll be back with, once we read them, we'll do Briar Valley.
Oh, yeah.
I'm loving
I'm going to go down a fucking J. Rose, like, I'm going to read all of her books.
Yeah.
So.
I'm very, like, pleased with everything that she's put out. I'm very pleased.
They've all been 5 stars for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard for me to rate anything below like a 4 on her books that I've read so far, because I'm just so sucked in. And we forgot to call out like the trigger warnings in this one.
Oh yes.
So I'm just gonna call them out real quick. Reverse harem. She ain't gonna choose. Forced proximity, contemporary, suspense, abuse, mystery, explicit open door, poly, age difference, self-harm, hurt comfort, friends to lovers, tortured hero, urban new adult alpha male, a virgin heroine, dual POV, and found family.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot, like, the virgin, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she definitely was.
Yeah.
Because Pastor Michaels never fucking touched her, and we find out why. But, like...
Which, that had me thrown. Until they told me why. I was like, why did he never sexually abuse her, but he did to every single other girl he brought down? And when they told me why, I was like,
oh!
Okay. That's still fucked up, though. That's still fucked up.
Still went through the ritual when she was fucking younger. So, like, she is scarred the fuck up. Because like, it's all ritual symbols, and, like, Holy Trinity is this thing.
And, like, dude, it was so sad when, like, because she's with Enzo the first time, right? Mm-mm. No, is it...
It was, she did things with Leighton first.
Okay.
And then it was Hunter.
Okay, Hunter.
And then it was Leighton again.
He's like, don't be ashamed of your scars. And she's like, so ashamed of them. But they're all so sweet. And they're like, we love you. Like, this does not change anything.
Because I liked her spicy scenes. It was Leighton on the couch. And then it was Hunter in the hotel, and then it was Leighton again in the hotel room, and then it was Enzo messing with her, but it turned into Enzo and Hunter, and then Enzo and Leighton, but then Theo was left, and so she finally did things with Theo.
Yes,
and they came all back around.
They like all like take turns like cuddling her at night.
I love it. Well, Enzo has to sleep with her for him to get any sleep. Because
any sleep at all. He's so in love. He's so like...
What, an insomniac? He can't sleep because
and
of
he's worried about, like, is somebody going to come get her? And so, like, the only time he's able to, like, shut off his brain is when he's, like, cuddling her. And, I'm like...
and it's always, like... It's always Hunter Enzo, like, in the bed with her. I love it.
She's never alone.
No.
It's super sweet. Would suggest 5 out of 5.
Yes.
For me. Loved it. Thought they were great.
Yeah. They are so
probably going to need to buy them. So.
Oh, yeah.
So, especially if I have Blackwood, now I feel like I just need to, like, have all of them.
I know. Maybe I'm hoping there's going to be some good fucking sales on books because, like, I'm going to start getting... I need more of the physical books.
I do too. And
I'm really bad about, like, I know people, like, and I know you do this, like, you want your book trophy, you know, like, after you read them.
Yes. Or me, especially if it's something I'm like... I know I'm going to read again. Yes. If I've read it on KU, okay, the complete trilogy is $30.
Oh, that's on sale.
It's $29 for all 3 books.
But is it all in one?
Yeah, which is how my Blackwood is. It's like that too, and I like it. Yeah. It's fine. But yeah, like if I read it on KU and I'm like, I'm going to read that shit again, I'm absolutely going to buy the book. Or if I'm like, so-and-so would love to read this, I'm probably also going to buy the book. Like a great example is Lights Out. Yeah. So like listen to the Audible.
Oh, yeah.
Read it on KU.
Yeah.
Bought the book and I've read the book already again. Yeah. So it's like, if you are writing a decent enough book, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna buy it and then I'll be like, you borrow this, you borrow this, you borrow this. I'm sharing.
You don't have a Kindle, it's fine. Here, have the physical book.
Yeah, I'm not gatekeeping. No way. No how.
No. Do you have a book for me?
I do. I have Lights Out for you.
That is it. Okay.
I do.
I was like, I already have all of Nick's that you got. You know that like I bought and the one that you got me.
And now I know I have so many. I have all of his books now.
Yeah. I think I'm missing 2.
And Kristen borrowed like 3 of them, and she brought them back, and I was like, "Oh, my Nick Roberts shelf is complete again." It's complete.
I need another fucking bookcase. But you know, my stepdaughter is gonna be moving back to California soon.
Oh, no.
But it'll be fine. It'll be good. And so we're gonna move rooms around, so Killian will be like her old room, things like that. So I'll have my office back again, which means I can get some new shelves and another bookcase.
Yes,
I'm excited. Not that she's leaving, because like we've had her here for like 5 years now.
But
you know?
to like have your own space.
Yeah, and I get my office again. I can actually set up my fucking monitor and not just work off my laptop
and crochet.
I haven't diamond painted in so long.
Me neither. I need to find one.
I have extras.
Bring me one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I have like a moon with a skull that I think you'd like.
Sorry, I needed to
and it's
stretch
small,
my legs.
and it's like a smaller one, so it's not like overwhelming.
I want to do the little coaster ones.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fun.
Cute. I'm like tiny, but like
Christmas ideas.
Christmas ideas for us. All right, well, we'll be back next week with Incidents Around the House by Josh Mallerman. But yeah, we'll be back.
Yeah, another book. Fun.
All right, have a good week. Bye.
Listen to my jingles.
my jingles.
Thank you for listening. If you'd like to see more from us, you can find us on Instagram at the Midnight Babes Podcast and on TikTok at the Midnight Babes. Stay spooky, friends.